my persuasive speech. What could we do with an extra $1 billion in our state's budget? By the end of my speech, I hope to persuade you that Nevada should institute a state lottery in order to generate much-needed revenue for our state and for our education system. As a government employee for over 17 years, I have unique insight into government revenues and expenditures. Government employees are often called upon to investigate new ways to generate revenue, and a lottery is often brought up as one of those potential ways. The elements I will be discussing are the problems of Nevada's budget shortfall, a plan to use a lottery to generate revenue to overcome this problem, and the viability of a lottery in the state of Nevada. First, I will discuss the problem of Nevada's budget shortfall. In an article by Sandra Cherub, who is a Capitol Bureau reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Nevada projected a decrease of $87 million in revenue as well as an increase of $81 million in spending in the 2015 budget year. According to that same article, the total shortfall was expected to be $162 million. This would have a very unfavorable result on Nevada's credit rating, which is important when the state applies for bonds to get a good interest rate for financing projects. The state's largest school district, the Clark County School District, has been under fire for a number of years for their poor school system. J.D. Morris of Vegas Inc., which is a respected source for business and financial news in Las Vegas, has said that Nevada has a bottom-tier education system. With teacher shortages and funding problems plaguing the state, the need for additional revenue is becoming impossible for the community to ignore. If this decline continues, children will be ill-equipped to move on to higher education institutions and will end up in unsuccessful and unfulfilling careers. Now that I have discussed the problem of a budget shortfall, second I will discuss how a lottery could alleviate these issues. All Nevada residents, and especially my fellow parents of school-age children, stand to benefit a great deal from lottery revenue. States keep a significant portion of each dollar that is spent on lottery tickets, and this amounts to millions of dollars in consistent revenue for the state and local government. In a 2013 article in the Wisconsin State Journal, it's reported that Wisconsin raised $3.5 billion in 25 years, which they opted to use for property tax credit relief to Wisconsin homeowners. With Nevada's population being about half that of Wisconsin, coupled with the fact that many Nevada residents are already accustomed to playing games of chance, it is likely that Nevada could experience a similar revenue from a lottery. In Georgia, they have a lottery for education, for which they have marked their lottery funding for only educational purposes. They have raised over $3 billion in only 5 years, and they use this money for scholarships, pre-K programs, and technology and construction projects in schools. This is all in a report written by Ross Rubenstein and Benjamin Scafidi in the National Tax Journal, which is a publication of the National Tax Association. Nevada could institute similar earmarks on proceeds from a lottery to ensure that funding only went to funding education. And this would go a long way in raising Nevada's notoriously low ratings when it comes to our education system. A significant increase in funding for education is desperately needed in order to enhance the future of Nevada's children. Now that I have discussed the plan to use a lottery to generate funds, third I will discuss the viability of a lottery in Nevada. Lottery faces consistent opposition from the local gaming industry. However, the gaming industry would face little to no impact if a lottery were to be allowed. There is clear evidence of this by the thousands of residents that travel to neighboring states when jackpots approach hundreds of millions of dollars in order to buy their lottery tickets. This playing by Nevada residents in other states does not correlate to a decline in Nevada's local gaming revenue, and it funnels thousands of dollars out of our state to other states. Gaming Control Board Chairman A.G. Burnett said in a 2013 article by ABC News by Alexis Shaw that he does not attribute the lack of a lottery in Nevada to the gaming industry, but only to the fact that in Nevada's original constitution it was written so that a lottery would not be allowed in the state of Nevada. It is also often thought that lotteries prey on lower income households. However, as someone who comes from a low to middle class household, I would argue that there is no more appeal of a lottery than there is to penny slots and paycheck cashing drawings, and other low-limit gaming that is meant to draw in people that have little money to gamble. There has been a great deal of interest in Nevada in a lottery, which is why it often goes to the legislature. The legislature would need to pass a lottery bill in 2 consecutive sessions in order for it to be placed on a ballot for voters to ultimately decide whether or not they want a lottery. And this is also according to the article in Vegas Inc. Stephanie Grimes of the Las Vegas Review-Journal reports that Nevada is one of only 6 states that does not participate in the lottery. So the participation of 44 out of 50 states is a very strong indicator that citizens consistently participate in lotteries within their states, and that these lotteries are a significant and viable source of income for their state and local governments. In closing, I hope that I have persuaded you that the state of Nevada should allow a lottery and that it would generate a great deal of revenue that was much needed in our state. I have discussed the problem of Nevada's budget shortfall, a plan to use the lottery to overcome those issues, and the viability of the lottery in Nevada. So what would our state do with an extra $1 billion? If legislatures would allow this lottery bill to pass, then we just may be able to find out.